the church as an institution is that holds our foundation and our beliefs, our doctrines. And the little C church and the local church level is where ministry actually happens. And so when you begin to look at why church is important, church for me is the place where lives are affected, change happens, and people begin to really see what the love of God can do when it is lived out well through people, the body of Christ, engaging at work in the mission around us. The obstacles we face is there is rising competition, and you don't necessarily want to look at church facing the competitions of the world, but truly we do with the rise of travel ball and everything else that seeks to take people's attention away from gathering together publicly and declaring their worship and declaring their love and devotion to God. For me, speaking personally, if there's ever a time where I am not engaged in church, if I'm out of town or whatever and not present, that whole week, and I've heard so many people also share this, that whole week there feels as if there's a void or something missing, just because I miss that community. And I think community within the life of the church becomes one of the hallmarks that we as the church offer, to know that this is a place where we come together, and folks from all different walks of life, from all different backgrounds, all different number of beliefs, and we come together with one common purpose, and that is our worship and our love of God. Speak from the heart as to how church has spoken to them, how church has affected them, how they have experienced community, as I've said, how they've experienced God's love.
When I talk to people about the importance of the church in my life, what I say to them is, understand how frazzled you are, and then find the peace and love that you get when you come to a church, and you find the love of God, the love of your church member, your family, your church family, that makes it far easier to deal with the struggles of daily life that are forcing themselves in on you at all times. I'm not sure that the word focus is a good one. Travis was telling me yesterday that we need to spread out the gospel to everybody. We need to push the gospel out to everybody and push our church out to everybody so that the ones that are ready to respond are able to do so. It's not so easy to advise somebody to stand up in the middle of all of their enemies and profess something which they know is going to cause them and their family even great harm and even their death. So you have to, I suppose that if it was me, I would try to remove that person, help that person leave that environment, but leave it in such a way that people understood why he left.
That very statement, that very verse of John 3:16 becomes the reason that we do what we do. And seeking to live that out, seeking to embody a life of love and a life of call, can become our calling into this world as we seek to be who Jesus has called us to be, as we seek to offer the love that he gave us, that we first experienced in him, And that can be that thing that goes forth and changes the world around us. Community comes to mind. Community, I've said it already, but community becomes foundational. Embracing the message that we have and embracing the hope of that message. One of the big things, the key things that I think we can take away or have to take away as the church is excitement.